Hey everybody, it's Dee Dee with Take Three, and I'm here with Kevin and Nikki del Principe uh, with the movie Up on the Glass. Hi, you guys.
Hi, good to be with you.
Thanks so much for having us, Dee Dee.
Of course, thank you. So, obviously, the first question is, what's it like working as husband and wife?
Nikki?
Sure. No, it's been really lovely. As you can imagine, there's a process of just learning each other's working styles. We've been together for, what has it been, 7 years now? Oh, since 2014. 6 years. And just got married last year, so we do have a rapport now at this point. And soon after first getting together, after graduating from USC, where we met, we started making short films, and that was really good practice before embarking on our first feature, Up on the Glass.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to do it without Nikki at this point. She's sort of the rock that keeps it going, I think, for me. So I really appreciate her.
It's sort of a nonverbal communication between the two of us as well. And as you saw from watching the film, having co-written with Kevin and produced with Kevin, and then acted while he working together in different ways. And I think it'd be a whole different experience to, even as an actor, to work with another director, just given the comfortability that we have.
So what inspired you guys to write this movie?
Well, I sort of started spitball ideas when Nikki first invited me to see the kind of area that she grew up in the summers on Lake Michigan. And I think, part of it was like coming from the outside, like my perspective as an outsider and as someone who, grew up in Western New York in like a working class environment. So I started kind of like just, I think, sort of ponder that. And then that led me to the character of Jack and the story of this guy coming into the outside and hanging out with his, wealthier friends who were doing a little bit better than him 10 years after school. So I think that was the start of it. So I think it was something about my own experience and my experience with this place. And then certainly like it started with that spitball session, when with this beautiful area and overlooking the lake and as the sun setting. And then, of course the story evolved, as Nikki and I continued to develop it over some time.
And that's the location is dear to you, right, Nikki?
Yes, I grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but spent pretty much every summer since I was 3 years old in this lakeshore community in Oceana County, Michigan. And so, yes, it is very near and dear to my heart. And it's really exciting to be able to share, this beautiful place in the film Up in the Glass with audiences very soon.
And how was it like casting the film?
Well, we were fortunate, like I had a friend from college some years back that we went to school at a little school outside of Boston, Massachusetts. And we had lost touch for a period of time. And then we reconnected in LA, and her name is Rachel Imbriglio, and she's a casting director. And she'd been suggesting that I talk to Chase, who ended up being the lead for some time, even before I presented the film to her. And then once we presented the script, she was like, you really have to meet this guy, because she just felt like there'd be some sort of connection between us, some sort of understanding. And then, she was great at helping us cast other people, as we chatted about before, that had, Nick and I chatted about before, that had a connection to the Midwest too. I think that really helped. And then we even found one gentleman named Burke Sage. We found him on Instagram, who's from Michigan, and that was pretty cool. And he did a great job. So
plays the role of Bob.
Yeah, Bob. So yeah, I think we were really fortunate. It was good to work with a friend and have that sort of come back around some years later to be able to work with Rachel in this capacity. I couldn't have imagined that, back when we were in college, when I was like, I think I remember I believe I was her like a TA when she was in a playwriting class, we're the same year. So, our history goes back a long time, and it was really cool to reconnect and work on this project together.
Yeah, Chase kind of goes through a bit of an emotional roller coaster in this one.
Yeah, as he does. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, Chase as an actor just really was willing to go through that process and just brought a lot of positive energy to set, and just really was able to express some of the subtle aspects, because Jack, like the first third of the movie, he's not very talkative, so it's all in his mind. There's all this interior work going on, and I thought Chase did a great job at living that out as an actor, so that Jack, pardon me, would come alive even in the first third, and then he starts to open up, more as the film progresses.
So what kind of challenges did you guys have on set?
Oh, wow. It was definitely an endeavor to shoot a 96-minute film in 11 and a half days, very limited crew, and Kevin, as soon as we started filming, he had to be the director and nothing else. So I was the main producer, and putting out a lot of fires, and we had to do a lot of planning. That was essentially what allowed us to make that happen in such a short period of time. Is making sure that we line scenes up that were in similar locations, and keeping into account day and night and when the sun sets, and really staying on time and on track. But at the same time, we had to be flexible because of weather, because of all these different factors. So it was challenging, but rewarding to get to the end of our last day and feel like, oh my gosh, we made it happen somehow, some way. And it was really a testament to the support we had. The community in this kind of Lakeshore community really came together around us, and made sure that we had food for the cast and crew, and places to stay.
We had a mess hall of sorts. We were able to eat all our meals in the cottage with Tom and Julie, right? That were so great at making all our meals. So we really wanted to create the sense of community, and we did that. But then also it was great because there was a community that was established, that people who had known Nikki her whole life growing up, and just people in this area generally that were just really supportive of us doing this. It helped us, persevere through the pressures of trying to shoot a feature film in 11 days and change.
Right. And so, Nikki, while you're producing this movie, while you guys are filming, you're also in the film playing Kate. So I would imagine that might have a little bit more of a challenge there.
Yes, and I think it was really about trying to keep the boundaries as somewhat stable between those roles, but it was difficult to maintain because, cast and crew have needs, and I was the main producer, whether I was preparing to go on set as Kate or not. And so I think if we do this in the future, I'd probably try to separate those out a little bit more, or maybe have a little bit more help on set on those days. But it was fun, I will say, to be able to play the role of Kate and, make it happen.
So what do you guys want people to take away from your film?
Well, I mean, I think Jack as a character, in some ways, maybe some people may feel some distance in terms of the choices he makes and his behaviors. But I think on the other side, it seems like some people, including myself, are drawn to him and have an understanding for this sort of gentleman and sort of someone feeling like they've tried to do the right things and it's not worked out and they're a little bit lost. And I think many of us can feel that way. So my hope is that people are willing to kind of grapple with that. Like, what does that mean when someone has tried to sort of do the right things and yet they're not able to get ahead? and then they do make choices. So, you know, oftentimes like in our society, there's this like false duality of like personal choice versus some sort of social dysfunction. And those are the only two options for like why people act the way they do. But, you know, I think that the human experience is more complex than that. We have to factor in luck, among other things. And so hopefully it would allow people to look inward a little bit and just consider like, you know, their own lives and also these institutions that we're a part of. I think that's kind of what we're looking for, what I'm looking for, just sort of this questioning about these institutions and choices that people tend to make.
And when and where can people see Up on the Glass?
So as of September 8th, it will be available across streaming platforms. So iTunes, Amazon, Vimeo, a few other ones as well. You can also buy on Blu-ray and DVD on Amazon and some other retailers. And if you're looking for any other information about the film, you can go to upontheglass.com or follow us on social media at Up on the Glass.
Great. And what's next for you two?
Well, we'd definitely love to make another film and replicate a similar system to what we were able to create for this one, where, you know, we filmed in a place that was familiar to me, you know, for Up on the Glass, in this community that was really supportive. So we're hoping for the next film, maybe we'll return to where Kevin grew up in Buffalo and perhaps make the novel that he wrote, I, Animal, into a movie.
Yeah, that would be very satisfying to be able to go back home and I sort of feel like I have unfinished business, not only at home, but with that story that I wrote, that novel I wrote. And that's something we'd like to do. And we're also, one small thing we're doing, in addition to our film stuff, is we're having an arm of our company be sort of a press arm. So we're going to be publishing our first book that's a book of poetry by a friend of mine, a talented poet that is from the States but lives in Ireland now, named Brian Brogan, called Tracking the Masked Dawn. So that is going to be out hopefully November, and I'm excited to just put my headspace into the written word and do something a little bit different for a while too, and promote and support somebody else that I believe in.
Well, that's really great. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And at the top of this, you guys got another family member recently.
Oh yes, yes. Bo, who is now laying on the floor. We want to grab Bo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we picked up this little puppy, Bo Beauregard. We go by Bo typically, you know. Bobo Man, you know, other names like that. But he's our little Memphis. We moved to Memphis recently from LA, and he's our little Memphis puppy, who's along with our older and wise dog Cora, she's you know roaming around right now, but she'd be tougher to pick up. She's a little bit bigger lab. But this is Bobo. He's panting. He's happy. He's a happy little man. Yeah,
He's so cute.
Wow. Right? I mean, he could have bit me just as easily, but he did not. So
he destroyed our carpet earlier.
Yeah, he destroyed
a
big piece of it. Was so disappointing. Our carpet, all of a sudden there was a hole where there was not a hole before.
He looks so innocent.
Yeah,
he does. He looks extremely innocent right now. Like, yeah, very calm and.
Yeah.
It's a front.
Oh, he's acting.
Yeah, he's acting.
Yeah.
He fits in pretty well around here.
He's a rising star for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for talking with me today. And, you know, the review will be up on take3filmcritic.com. And I wish you guys all the best on your new ventures.
Well, thanks, Dee. Really appreciate talking to you and hanging out with Bo and everything. And hopefully we'll chat again soon.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.